And here we are live.
Hi, everyone.
We just wait a little bit. Okay, we're in our other home.
Our other.
Yes.
Exactly.
Last week we
were in our summer home.
On the summer home.
Yeah.
Where the piano is. You know, we have a piano here too.
The 550, the 600.
Yeah, I just came from work, so I'm sorry that didn't change. But look at this shirt. This is a beautiful shirt.
Why am I cut off? I feel like no one can see me. There we go.
Okay. So I just came from work.
Yeah.
Having a lot of fun with the kids, and then all of a sudden, the little kids, the level 3, they get distracted easily, And I'm working, and then all of a sudden one of them screams, "Snow!" Of course, in the middle of that, everybody stopped to look at the snow.
Yeah.
And it was coming down pretty hard, but not sticking. So our first snowstorm for
snowstorm.
Well, first snow.
Well, yesterday, right, or the day before was the first snow.
What was there snow yesterday? I think I was sleeping.
Either yesterday or the day before there was snow. Our first guest won't know anything about that. She lives in the beautiful state of North Carolina, and they don't get much snow.
North Carolina. Listen,
they don't get much snow.
If you're gonna make fun of me again for when we visited North Carolina,
I have to tell that story. We're gonna.
Do you have to really?
Yeah.
Let me get my timer here because this is all I'm gonna give you.
Okay.
All I'm gonna give you to tell the story. Begin.
I'm cold. Okay, so a couple years ago.
Yes.
Maybe like 7 or 8 years ago.
That's not a couple.
We spend Thanksgiving in North Carolina with my aunt.
Yeah, and the cousins.
Aunt Leona.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go for a ride with my Uncle William.
Mm-hmm.
And you're driving down 95. I don't know, maybe you guys were going to the Piggly Wiggly.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys got snow here." It was cotton. It was cotton in the cotton fields, and I was like, "Don't you ever embarrass me down here."
Yes, and after that day, then of course,
hey, Donna. Donna is on. What's up, family? Hold on, let's show her comment. So.
Hey, Donna. Donna Didi. Dede or Didi?
It's Didi. Dede is not.
It's not. Well,
Dede is also.
And Latin, so I read everything with
I,
A, E, O, U.
Okay. That I'll
also speak Japanese.
So welcome to Monday Night Tweed Talks, you guys. We have Clyenzer Taylor joining us today. And also later on is Neil Farber's coming on. But we got to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? We got to talk clothes. We got to talk fashion.
Oh, of course.
And I happened upon some very interesting information on her page a while back. And someone said something about bail bonds. I was like, oh.
Bail bonds?
Yeah. So.
Why does it say bail bonds man?
I don't know. Sorry.
We'll find out when she comes on.
We'll find out.
Yeah, that's very interesting to me.
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
And I have on one of her boutique pieces. I have on the top today.
Did I pay for that?
You did. It was a birthday gift.
A birthday gift?
Yes. Last month. So what do you say we bring her in?
Hey,
hey, Charles.
Charles.
Love you guys. Great story. Too funny. Yeah, Charles. So after that, he ended up getting glasses because obviously he couldn't see.
And now these glasses are done. No, I need something else. I also need a haircut. Okay, so here she is. Hello, cousin.
He's so funny. How are you?
How are y'all doing?
Good. We're good. We're so excited to have you on.
Thank you.
I thought it was appropriate to have you on in November, right before the holidays, so people can spend some money and shop online. Oh my goodness! So,
well, last wedding that we went to, we just went to a wedding, and my wife said, "I got to get this outfit right here."
Oh yeah, the blue velvet.
And she got a lot of compliment on that.
Did you put a picture?
I put pictures. I don't know if I put pictures of that, but I have some pictures up that I bring up.
So I started watching your lives during the shutdown from the boutique. And you have just some wonderful, wonderful pieces. And you select each. Do you select each item that you sell in your boutique?
I
love that. You pick everything yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So what made you get into fashion, first of all, and then how did that transfer into owning a boutique?
Okay, well, actually, I've always loved clothes. I've always had a problem with shopping, always. And actually, when I started the store, I started it as a consignment shop.
Okay.
Because I do like consignment pieces as well. Mm-hmm. But so I started the store initially with all of my clothes, all of my daughter's clothes, because we all pretty much wore the same size. So I filled that store up with our pieces. But then after that, I was like, when I started having people come and consign, they were not bringing the things that I thought would sell. Mm-hmm. Because when you're doing consignment, you want some snazzy pieces, you want some, just different type of pieces, nothing that you can just go to Cato's or Walmart and pick up.
Right.
Honestly, in my location, that's what they were bringing me. So I was like, no, I can't do this. So then I switched it over, and then I said, I can do a boutique, and started with, picking out pieces. And sometimes I would do like a small consignment section if I feel I can resell, but if not, I just do all boutiques. So I pick out everything. I usually have shoes, but a lot of times with the vendors, they only send me a lot of women wear 9, 10s, and 12s. But surprisingly, so I'm left with a lot of small size. So I stopped shoes, but I mainly just focus on clothes.
Wow, I love that. Okay, so how long have you had the boutique?
I've had it for 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
I love that, having your own space where you can you have things in your store that you would love, that other women would love. One of the things that I love about the boutique is that you incorporate sizes for all women.
I do. I actually I try to cater to the plus size woman. Because a lot of times, she can't get that spunky looking piece. And if she does, she pay a lot of money. And then sometimes it's not the best quality. So I definitely, I cater to all sizes, but I definitely cater to my plus size women.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to ask a question? So tell me about the bail bondsman. You've been doing that for longer than you've had the boutique.
Oh, yes. I started bail bondsman for about 11 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, 11 years. I started that. I think that's starting to run its course, though.
When I saw that, I mentioned to my husband, I was like, wow, that is such a male-dominated, part of business to go into. So what made you go into that?
Well, honestly, 11 years ago, I was dating this guy, and he had gotten stopped for driving with no license. So he had called me to come to the jail to bond him out.
Oh.
So bail bondsman. She was a lady. I started talking to her, just, inquiring, how did it work? What percentage of the money she makes? What does she turn in? Just asking a lot of questions, and it sparked my interest. And I was like, I think I'm going to do that. Because I've always worked in retail. So my work is retail. But then I wanted to step out because my daughter was getting ready to start high school. So I didn't want to be that mom that was working all the time for someone else. And I didn't know what was going on in my home because I was a single mother. So that's what sparked my interest to jump into bail bonds. And I've been doing it now for 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Before she asked that question, I was going to show that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, bail bonds has been very good to me, but the time we live in now, you know, people don't want to go to court because how it works is we're licensed through surety through the North Carolina insurance. So it's like a certain part of insurance, but it's surety insurance. So what we do is we sign a piece of paper saying that it's called a power. Let me say it correctly. But we signed this power saying we're going to be responsible for Johnny until his case is over with. So if I get Johnny out on a $5,000 bond and I charge Johnny $750, and then he does not go to court and I cannot find him within 5 months, then the court is looking for me to pay $5,000 because I promised and I signed this paper that Johnny was going to show up for court. So it just has its highs and its lows. It's been very, very good to me. I've sent both my daughters to college on it, so I cannot complain about it.
Wonderful.
You know, people are not wanting to go to court and make payments. It's just, I still enjoy it, but it's just a lot.
Do you feel like the pandemic has changed that, or it was?
Oh God, yes. You know, because everybody uses that now where I'm not working, or you know, this going on, that's going on. So a lot of times I would do a lot of payment plans. But when COVID hit, you know, it's hard to do payment plans because if they don't have it, they just don't have it.
Right.
You know, and who am I to say that their job didn't go out because of COVID? You know, they definitely could have used that last year. And actually last year I ended up closing my office. I had an office down in Duplin County. I ended up closing it and I just put a small office in the back of my store, you know, just to cut costs because people were not paying like they used to. And then was shut down. So they were moving people court dates further and further back. So then people pick up and move to Alaska. So, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And then here I am paying bounty hunters and trying to find these people. It was
my goodness.
Yeah, the pandemic really put a push on, you know, the way things turned out.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Now, what happened to the boyfriend?
You know, I knew that was coming.
That was 11. Oh, I bonded him out, but that relationship been over.
The relationship's been over.
And he still don't have license.
He still don't have what?
I said,
oh my God.
So.
You know, it's funny that you said that's how you got into it, because I believe that from desperation comes inspiration. So and a lot of times when something goes wrong, that gives you an idea. Hey, that gives me an idea.
That's true. That is true. Because I would have never thought of that business. Never.
Right.
You know, and just sitting there talking to her and trying to get things, you know, just filling her out. I was like, you know what? And then actually the guy that I bonded out, the guy I was dating, he was very supportive, you know, in the business. He actually the one who really pushed me to go forward with it. So I pretty much stepped out on faith. I left retail and I just gave that 100%. So it was meant to happen.
So do you get your clothes from different? Yeah, definitely. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know what the reason is, but you know, if you wait long enough, you'll figure it out.
Find out exactly.
So let me ask you: do you get clothes from different retail?
Different vendors. I do. What I do is I buy wholesale. So I do from different vendors. I pick, you know, certain ones, and I try to get things that are in style. I try to get things that are totally different that you won't see everywhere, you know. So yeah, I pick different vendors that I do business with.
I love that because I've been looking through the site off and on. And the name just fits it so well, classy, because all the pieces are really, really classy, go from day to evening really easily. I haven't ventured out to get a hat yet, but I feel like I need to.
You know,
and
I
got
some new hats coming this week, and I'm just going to send you one on me. And then let's see how you like it. I got some.
Okay.
Oh, you know.
Okay, that sounds good. What are you about to say?
So that means it won't be on me, because usually that's
no, it's going to be on me.
But check this out, because this is one of the pieces I saw, and I thought I put more pieces, but I saw this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that faith dress was a big seller. I had to order that dress probably like 10 times.
I saw that you said that.
Different colors, because everybody was wearing them. Praise teams were getting them, you know, and I'm not. And so a lot of people were ordering those dresses.
So do you get many churches in your area that come and buy stuff in bulk for their, like the choir, like you said, for the praise team?
Honestly, that was their first time.
Okay.
Yeah, because the faith dresses are so big right now, so that was their first time. And everybody wanted one, you know, especially when you're singing together, now that things are back, you know, opening up.
Yeah, when you tell everybody to wear red, you get like 4 different color red.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
He's another classy lady.
Oh, that's an old picture. Okay.
But that's exactly goes to my point. What I was saying, very classy, so chic.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have a comment. Just people are dropping in and saying hello. I don't see Daryl on tonight, but Daryl lives in North Carolina.
Oh, really?
And I was hoping he would be on because I was going to tell him to buy some stuff for his wife.
Well,
we're gonna put the link in once we post
sometimes he watches late. Sometimes he watches later. Yeah. So let's say hello to some people. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Charles. How are you? Tom is here. Hey, Tom.
Sensei Renner.
Donna is here interjecting.
And Donna there. Oh.
I don't know what she was laughing at, but.
And do you know this person here?
That's my daughter.
Oh, okay. Is it Orion?
Yep, Orion.
Orion. Okay, so what is your favorite season to sell in? Like your favorite season?
I probably would say right now, November, December.
The fall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fall. Even though it starts out a little slow. I think the fall and then going all into Christmas is my favorite season. I honestly think this Christmas I'm gonna try something a little different in packaging. I seen it in one of the old Western movies. So I think this season and going into Christmas is my favorite.
Cool. You know, there's something I love about fall fashion because you could just layer upon layer and just, you know, you can wear like a t-shirt, throw a long sleeve shirt over it, then a denim jacket, a scarf, a hat, boots.
And I'm a layer person, so I like.
Oh, love it.
Yeah,
love it. Leggings with a nice chunky sweater.
Yeah.
In North Carolina?
Well, it's chilly.
Yeah,
it's chilly.
Yeah, the only thing I couldn't stand was the snow over there. But other than that.
What's the temperature there?
It was around 50 something today.
50, okay.
It
was 35 degrees here today.
35 degrees.
And snow.
And snow.
Is it still snowing outside?
And snow.
Looking out the window.
Oh, wow. You know, if it was snow here, everything would be shut down. We don't move in the snow here.
That is so funny because I think when we went in November, it was like flurrying out. We may have been the only car on the road. Maybe.
It probably was because we shut down everything just for flurries. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Heavy flare today, but not sticking.
You know, the snow is beautiful, but driving in it is just crazy. Last February, over like maybe a 2-day period, we ended up with like 3 feet of snow.
Oh, wow.
You guys should come visit. Come visit in December and see the snow.
You're in upstate, right?
We're upstate.
Okay. Yes, we are.
Familiar Orion, my daughter who was up there, her family's from upstate.
Oh, okay. What do you know? What part?
Poughkeepsie. Am I saying that right?
Oh, they right up the road.
Yeah, Chief comes there. Like.
Yeah. Family's from there.
That's like the new Hollywood now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doing a lot of movies there.
So we were messaging on Sunday, and you said that you're also a Sunday school teacher.
I am.
I love it.
School at my home church, Bentonville, the adult class.
Oh, you teach the adult class. Okay. So have you taught the little ones before or no?
No. I jumped right in with the big dogs.
Okay.
Wow.
It's interesting. I honestly like it. You know, it makes me really study. So
Yeah. You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter?
Well, I have 3 daughters and a son. My oldest daughter is 20. She'll be 25 in December, and she's married with twin girls. And then Orion, who was on, she's 23. Then my son is 19, and then my baby girl is 15.
Oh my goodness! How do you have it? Oh,
It's possible. It's possible.
no, but you don't look a day over 25.
Yeah.
Well,
I love that.
Yeah, that she doesn't look a day
forever young. You know,
forever young. That's a song, right?
How old do I look?
You don't look like you have a 22-year-old daughter.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is good.
So tell us what promotions you have coming up or going on right now. Drop your website as well.
All right. Well, starting Friday, we are doing a wine. It's a thing that they do for battered women called Wine Walk. That's held by the Pizzazz. It's actually downtown Clayton where I live, but they do it downtown Smithfield. So what people do is just walk around downtown, come in your store, drink wine, look at what you have in the store. So on that night, I will be doing additional 50% off everything in the store, you know, just to build business. For Thanksgiving, I'll probably do like another 30 off promotion. And in December, I'll probably do another 50 off promotion. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Yay.
Do you have people physically coming to your store?
Oh, yeah. I'm open Monday through Saturday.
How often do you go live with in-store sales and stuff?
I do better with that. I need to go once a week, but I notice I'm probably maybe going once every 2 weeks. So I have to be better in being in people's face. You know, I'm not good at that. I just make a video. I do a lot of TikToks. So I do my videos, post them, and then I kind of let the videos do what it do. And honestly, every time I post a video, I sell. You know,
wow.
Reason why I kind of stick to that. But I think too, with the holidays coming, I'm gonna start doing I do a live at night and do selling at night. I notice people like that. So I'm trying to, I'm still with it to see what people like and things like that.
Gotta get ready.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the things I like is that it's reasonable prices also. Like I think my wife was watching you live, and then I was looking, for my wallet, trying to hide it. But then when I saw the prices, I mean, I'm not a cheap guy, but
Right.
Sometimes I gotta save money for the church.
You know what? Well, honestly, my prices are and I probably shouldn't say this, but I am. The people in my community, they complain about the prices. But if you really compare my prices to other boutiques that have the same thing I have, it's triple.
Right.
And I do a lot of research. I follow a lot of other boutiques. I try to keep up what's in, what's selling. And once I get my hand on it, I mean, their prices are outrageous.
That is such a good point you brought up, because being in the fashion industry, I shop a lot of boutiques, smaller boutiques, and I see a lot of the prices. They mark up the prices. Oh, is this someone's birthday?
Is it your birthday?
Oh, no, it was my dad's birthday. Still got the balloons.
Bringing balloons to you, trying to surprise you.
I thought somebody was sneaking through.
It was my dad's birthday. He lives here with me. He turned 80 on the 5th, I think. The 5th.
Oh, happy birthday.
Awesome. Happy birthday.
So I shop a lot of boutiques, and I see a lot of the prices are marked up really high. And when I was searching through your boutique online, I'm like, man, these prices are really, really decent.
Yeah.
They are, but the people in my community, in that county, honestly complain about the prices. But I'm like, one thing I go for when I'm doing my research with my vendors, I look for quality. So to wash your merchandise. You're gonna be able to wear it again. You know, you're not gonna, because I wear the clothes as well. You know, and I know I have certain stuff to fit my body. So, you know, I take this personal, but I see other people and their product is a lot cheaper, but the prices are triple mine. But people buy it.
Right, right.
You know, and some people are just looking for that one outfit for that night and don't wear it again. I'm not like that. I'll switch it up. I'll take the top and mix match it with something else. Like, you know, that's how I kind of do my pieces.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my prices are very reasonable.
No, they really are. And, you know, your sales on top of that are amazing. Because I've looked through, once you said I'm going on the site, I'm going to mark it down. You know, if people are, you know, being frugal with their money, then shop a sale. You know, 30% off when you have an event and you're doing 50% off. That's what I tell people.
Actually, I did this past Saturday from 12 to 2. I did additional 50% off from that time. People were in there buying like crazy.
Oh,
you know, even though it's a mark hit for me, at the same time, it drove business. So I can't, you know, I really can't complain. I broke even, you know, but I'm not going to complain because it'll keep them coming back.
But there's, you know, those people will be back.
Yeah, that's how.
Or they'll send someone, you know, hey, I went to this boutique.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. So I won't complain because at the end of the day, you know, just to get that traffic in there. And I mean, I have people online buying and I have people come to store buying. So I notice if I stay in people's face more, you know, I can drive more traffic. So that's one area that I have to work on.
Right, right.
Do you sell more online than you do in person?
I sell more in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to push my online sales. This week I've had this week though I had a lot of but last week I had a lot of online sales and from different states. I have no idea who they are or anything. I'm not complaining, but I had like a lot of online sales from different states. So I was happy about that.
I love that.
Awesome.
I love small businesses. I was saying when we went to a like an indoor market with all different kinds of vendors and small pop-up stores. And we're like, you know, we need to shop boutiques this holiday season, just, you know, to help, instead of helping the big box stores, you know, help the ones that have these small boutiques that they open with their own blood, sweat, and tears, you know?
Yeah, because it's definitely a job. It's definitely a job. Even to be open, you know, still during the pandemic, because like you said, people are watching their money.
Right.
You know, and we say that, but people are still shopping too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And a lot of times they think of the bigger people first before they think of us. And that's understandable.
Right.
You know, that's understandable. So it's a fight, but you know, I like to fight. You know, I don't give up easily. So I mean, I plan to be in it for the long haul.
That is awesome. Well, you know, the bells band thing is interesting. The clothes is interesting. I didn't know we were related. My wife is telling my cousin. I'm going, yeah, the wallet is over there. Just.
And listen, that's the third time you said that. I'm really not that bad.
No, she's not that bad.
No.
But she's been crying that her ring been gone for a week.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You don't sell rings? No, I'm just kidding.
No, you know, I thought I'd put something else in there, you know, because you had some boots and some pocketbooks that you had there. And so I had loaded.
I try to keep purses in there. I have a few purses in there now. I try to, but sometimes it's hard to find just that nice purse that stands out. And then honestly, wholesale purses, good quality is expensive.
Sure.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like a nice purse with the wallet and the other little wallet, it's costing me like $36 just to order one. So,
well, you know that they're talking about that some of the major stores are not going to have certain things coming in because they stuck in at sea someplace.
Oh yeah.
So that's very important to know that you are local and that you have the stuff there already.
Yep.
But I have a lot of stuff stuck as well. Like I'm really, honestly, my store is not 100% prepared for the fall. My sweaters are not here. I had leather pants coming in, blazers. A lot of my stuff is stuck. So actually, I've been on the phone with vendors all morning. Like, hey, either you're gonna give me my money back, or you're gonna resend my stuff. You know, honestly, I don't want the money back. I'd rather you send me the merchandise or send me something else. So yeah. That's going on with me as well because I'm not ready for the fall.
Right.
You know? So it's like as soon as I get pieces in, like I got new pieces in last week. As soon as I got it in, it sold out.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not complaining, but it's taking me a while to, replenish my store because a lot of stuff is stuck.
Well, you said the famous word, blazers. Blazers.
I love a blazer. I love a blazer.
Yes. Oh,
white blazer has blue and red. It's very nice, and I have been
my gosh!
I've been waiting for this blazer since October. Yeah, so I had it. I've been emailing them back and forth, and finally I said today, I said, look, either you're gonna send me my money or my merchandise. And so he emailed me back today and said, do I want my money back? I said, no, I really want the merchandise.
Right.
He said he's gonna go ahead and send it because the blazers are nice, and then I had some nice black puff sleeve dresses. But it has the big puff sleeve, and I thought it was really cute. It's like a sweater dress. So I'm waiting on that, man. Yeah, so I'm just waiting.
Exciting. I'm excited for the blazers.
Now, before we go, I think I saw something. You do something with hair, and can you do something with mine?
I don't do hair. No, I don't do anything with hair. That's my daughter. She keeps my hair.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw something.
She does such a good job.
Thank you. Yeah, that Oregon, the one who was on that, she keeps my hair for me. Keeps my hair.
Oh, okay.
You see that comment?
Saquon said, "Come to put." He said, "I was around in the summertime."
Yeah.
I love blazer. I think you can wear blazers year round though. That's just
absolutely because somewhere it's gonna be chilly.
Exactly.
Like if you go to Piggly Wiggly, then you go in the frozen food section. You need to put the blazer on.
Exactly.
She likes that. She likes the blazer. She's one of the people in the families that like to wear clothes. My brother-in-law Tyrone is always half.
Oh my gosh, he never wears a shirt. Yeah.
Always walking around without a shirt, flexing his muscle.
Oh my goodness. It has been such a blast to have you on. Drop your website before we let you go.
Oh, it's www.that'sclassycs.com. Classies is with 2 A's. And I know you'll put the link up. It's always open online. And if you ever I am located 331 East Market Street. I am downtown Smithfield. You cannot miss me.
Downtown Smithfield. Hopefully, if I am there in June, I could actually come into the store.
Okay, that'd be great.
I may or may not be down in June, so we shall see. But we thank you, love, for joining us tonight on Tweed Talks. We'll post your link, and we wish you the best of luck, and I hope to get a blazer.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
We'll get a blazer, and when you have something, do you have things for men?
I don't. I did some things for men's Father's Day, but it wasn't a good seller. So I still have socks. I have men's socks left. I have men wallets. I have men's satchels. I have men hats.
Oh.
I have that. So when I send your wife a hat, my cousin a hat, I'm going to send you a pair of socks.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all for having me.
All
right.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was looking at some more. This is a little bio.
Neil's bio.
Yeah, this is a little bio.
I saw his other sheet. Whoa, that's a lot of words on that.
And this is the abbreviated. This is the abbreviated.
Give me the Cliff Notes.
Well, first I gotta tell you that yes. You know, I connect with people.
Yeah.
And this is, you see this here?
Look at those. That's a handsome group of folks, huh? Where were you?
Now, you know, Sergio said that we were bodyguard for Cynthia.
That's so funny.
That's what he said.
That must have been a crazy weekend.
Oh, yeah. And right around that point, you were doing a play.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when we put Cynthia on the phone. She talked to you for a while, and you know, but we hung out the whole weekend that weekend, and we talked about, you know, and I read part of his book. Okay, and I see that we sort of think alike. You know, that you know, we just don't accept everything. Okay, I take that. And we had a conversation, and we were having a conversation, which is very funny because the book that he wrote, one of the books he wrote, I shouldn't say the book that he wrote, but one of the book that he wrote is this one. Before we bring him on, so I'm gonna put the picture, and then he's gonna be on when we come back from that picture. Okay, so you see that?
Yeah. Throw away your vision board. What? I have to throw it away?
We don't have one.
We did. Actually,
we did one time.
Neil, this house was on the vision board. we don't have the vision board anymore, though.
That's going to be funny. Okay, so here is Neil Farber. Okay, let me get rid of. Okay. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, good seeing you guys.
You too. Wait, are you sitting outside?
I am.
It's warm enough for you to sit outside. I'm jealous.
I'm actually. It's hot.
Hot.
It's beautiful. It's nice. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's probably 70-ish.
70-ish?
I think so. Something like that.
What state do you live in, Neil?
I'm in Phoenix.
Phoenix. Oh, no wonder. We're in New York.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you come down to visit, we have no snow or cotton. So there's nothing to mix up that's white on the ground.
That is hysterical. He was talking to you.
Yeah, I know he was talking to me. That's why I like Neil, because we jump right into it.
You didn't waste any time. It's like there's no snow or cotton.
Yeah. So when we were talking, he was talking about his book, and one of the things that I want, you know, because you saw the title of his book.
Yes.
Okay. And one of the things that I wonder is if everybody could just do that and think, and it happens, then Halle Berry must have a lot of guys, because there's a lot of people, you know, thinking
she's on their vision board.
Yes, exactly.
I've actually had dinner with her.
Huh?
I've actually had dinner with her.
You did?
Yes.
Was that on your vision board at all?
No.
No, I had to throw it away to get to do that.
Yes.
So where did the concept come from? You thinking throw the vision board away? Where did that come from?
Boy, it was a long journey, and I'll give you kind of the cliff notes, as you said. I started off. I'm from Canada, from Toronto, and moved to the States when I was in my teens. I got a degree in psychology, ended up going to medical school, became a pediatric anesthesiologist working at a children's hospital and part of a medical school. And I was in a bunch of different departments like pediatrics and anesthesia and bioethics, and did a lot of stuff there, and also ended up getting some PhDs along the way. I started writing about responsibility and blaming, and something happened where I was blaming something on somebody and realized how much that was hurting me. And so I started doing a big search into it and wrote a book called The Blame Game, The Complete Guide to Blaming, How to Play and How to Quit. And that was picked up by Psychology Today, and they invited me to be one of their experts on their blog list. And about the same time, I started teaching wellness classes at this medical school where I was working. And there were 13 different sessions, and I was doing this with a psychologist. And I was teaching, one of the classes was on goal setting. And I was asking how people, and that was one of the things that I had always felt that I had some talent at, was I'd set a lot of goals and I'd achieve them, both for martial arts and for sports and academics, things like that. So I set a goal to get a scholarship. So I had a complete scholarship for university. I had a complete scholarship for medical school, for graduate school, including tuition stipends. So for graduate school, a couple different graduate schools, medical school, undergraduate, I spent a total of $0 on education.
Wow.
And that was because I set goals ahead of time.
Wow.
And that saved, and because I did that in a very set out fashion that I kind of outlined in the book, it saved me probably $350,000 in the long run. And so maybe more than that in scholarships and things like that. So I've always felt like I had a good talent in it and I had a system. And I talked to a lot of people and found out that people that were successful had essentially the same systems. And so when I was lecturing to these medical residents, and it was a required class to finish residency, they had to take my wellness course. So I was asking, and some people said, oh, well, I use a vision board and I believe in the law of attraction. And this is a bunch of years ago. I hadn't heard of it before. So I started doing a lot of research in what the law of attraction was. And I was open-minded. So I started looking at it and looking at what it involved. So I'm kind of an extreme guy. So instead of just reading a couple books, I went back to the 1800s when it was first described, and I've read every book that was ever written about it.
Oh, wow.
I ended up getting a PhD in metaphysics, and my thesis was on the law of attraction. And so as I started having some doubts about it and looking at it like fully, what does it really mean and how do you invoke it? I started looking at a lot of people that wrote about it and realized they weren't living as if they believed in it. And so as I started doing this, I ended up writing a couple articles in Psychology Today about it. I had probably 500,000 hits or 1 million. Now it might be up to a couple million hits, a lot of people. And it was about 50-50. 50% were ready to find out where I live and toilet paper my house.
Right.
And 50% were writing me thank you notes.
Right.
And so there was a big divide, and the people that were mad were people that would typically say, well, if you don't believe in it, it's because you're not open-minded. And I kind of turned it around and went, I'm expressing doubts because I've researched it. And if you're open-minded, then listen to my reason and explanation, and then we can discuss it. It turned out that it wasn't really that way. It was more just insults. And so I ended up writing a book about it. But the book is really detailed. About 2/3 of the book was really detailed as to why there isn't a law of attraction. And it's a very delineated, I don't remember how many points, how many chapters I had, but the first 2/3, every chapter is a different reason why there can't be one. And I go back to the original sources that describe it and talk about how they came up with it in the first place. So most people don't really know where did they come up with this law of attraction? Who came up with it, and why, and what was it originally? And it turns out that it was all based on false pseudoscience. For instance, and so that's why my PhD in metaphysics was on it. But now, back in the time, it was metaphysics. But now a lot of it's physics because you can prove it or disprove it.
Right.
So, for instance, back then, they said likes attract like. So the law of attraction is based on, in the universe, like always attracts like. Always, always. It's just a law of nature, like gravity. I throw something up in the air and gravity pulls it down. Always happens. Like attracts like. If I think of something positive, I will always get something positive back. If I think of something negative, I will always get it back negative. It can never be the other way if I'm focusing and thinking of it. So I started thinking, and those were the original laws. So I started reading more and thinking, what does this really mean? And I didn't even have to go and interpret stuff. It actually says in some of the original books, if you believe in the law of attraction and you want to help someone in poverty, never give them money, because you're thinking poverty and it'll make yourself poorer. You're not going to help them. And in the law of attraction, you never say, I want a new car, I want a blue Ferrari. You just say, I have a blue Ferrari, and you visualize that you have one, put it on your vision board, and then the universe will magically bring you one. And so the book said, never donate to charity. Don't help poor people because you'll make yourself poor. Well, I personally have done a lot of medical missions. I travel around the world. When I was an anesthesiologist, to Philippines, to Africa, to China, to South America, all over the place. And I donate my time and money to help poor people for kids having facial deformities, repair, doing surgery. So I spent years doing that. And it's hard for me to believe that the universe is so stupid that if I say, it's my goal to help kids, I really want to do this, it's my passion, then I'll never be able to do it because I use the word want.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. The universe can't be that stupid. In addition, I happen to be someone who believes in God. And if there's a law of attraction, why is there a God? If I just need to believe something positive, then I can remove God from my life, because God has no role if I can overrule him or her or it with the law of attraction. That doesn't really make sense for my worldview.
Right.
In addition, there are, I was going back to like attracts like. Back then in the late 1800s, they didn't know that there were electrons and protons, and they're opposite and they attract. They only knew that there were electrons, and they said, oh, some electrons attract others. Like attracts like. Well, no, it's the opposite. They just didn't know that those are protons. So you could say in the universe, opposites attract. And the answer is no, sometimes it's opposites, sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's commonalities. If I'm sitting in my car and it's my birthday and I got a raise and I just got this great present and my family's coming home for holidays and everything is so good, I can't believe it, and someone rear ends me and breaks my neck, it's not because I was thinking negative thoughts. It's not my fault. I didn't bring that on myself. Just sometimes stuff happens.
Yes.
If you believe in a law of attraction, that's not the case. If you talk to a law of attraction expert or a vision board expert, they'll say, nothing ever happens just by itself. It's because of your thoughts. So deep inside, you must have been thinking something negative, and that's why you get negative. If you don't succeed in achieving your goals, it's because the law of attraction is perfect. If it doesn't work, it's because you didn't do it well. You were distracted. You wanted a blue Ferrari, so you kept visualizing, I have a blue Ferrari, I have a blue Ferrari. And then you get into your red Honda. It's hard to keep visualizing that blue Ferrari because everything's in a different place. And now you come back to reality and you can't get what you want because now it's a want, which means the universe hears you don't have it. So then you won't get it. So it's a big cycle of self-blame. In addition, if I know that you're sick and I believe in the law of attraction, then it's your fault that you got cancer. It's your fault that you got COVID. It's your fault that you died. Because vision board experts and law of attraction experts will say, even aging, it's only because you're thinking that you're getting old. If you, that it's all in your mind and it's all what you want. And the truth is, there's a whole lot more to it. And I've replaced the law of attraction in my vision board book, in my Throw Away Your Vision Board book, with 8 keys to achieve that are all very common, that I know that both of you believe in these things, even though we haven't talked really about it. I've spoken with Pedro about it a little bit, but things like accountability,
right?
Knowing what your core values and principles and beliefs are, and if you set your goals based on your core values, then they become part of you and they become really supercharged, as opposed to just a lot of vision boards. You don't need a why behind it. You just need, I really love Ferraris. I want a purple Ferrari. You don't need the why. In my system, without the why, you'll never achieve it. You need to have that settled as your motivator, so that when you don't feel like getting out of bed and you say, I really want to quit smoking, and someone says, why? And you say, well, because it's not good for you. Okay, well, you've known that for 40 years and you've still been doing it. That hasn't been enough. Why? Well, because my dad died young and I want to get old and be able to play with my grandkids and take them on hikes. And that's a why that's ingrained in my deep-seated, meaningful belief. And so that's what keeps you going. In law of attraction, you don't need a why. You just need a vision board with a picture of what the outcome is. So I've made it into a principle of attraction. It's one of the key principles. In general, when you're positive and optimistic, you tend to attract positive, optimistic people. You tend to get faster job promotions, more job promotions, better immune systems, living longer, having more friends, better relationships, making better decisions. All those things happen, but they don't have to. It's just social psychology. It tends to happen more often. And so there's a principle of attraction, but it's certainly not a law. And then positivity and all the benefits we have, and showing gratitude and forgiveness is another principle in this key to achieve that I have. And then visualization.
Right.
When in the law of attraction, you do what's called outcome visualization. Now, Pedro is a great example of this. When you do visualization, when people do visualization for vision boards, you are instructed to only cut out pictures of the ideal future. And you don't put anything else, because that's considered a challenge and doubt. And if the universe hears you doubt, it won't give you what you want. And so that's called outcome visualization. And when they've done studies in psychology to look at people that do outcome visualization, like I'm doing a gymnastics competition and I visualize standing on the podium in first place.
Right.
That kind of visualization does almost nothing for your goal and your success. In my system, you do that, but very briefly. And then what you do is you come back to where you are now and do an assessment of where I am now, and then figure out what I need to go from here to there.
Right.
And then the rest of the time, I'm mindful about the present and I'm living in the present. And when I visualize, how am I going to do that backflip? How am I going to do that round off? It's all process visualization. It's not outcome.
Right.
When you see a hurdler, they're visualizing how they're going to hurdle or how I'm going to swing that bat. That's what they're visualizing. It's not an outcome. It's not law of attraction. It's not a vision board.
Right.
It's what I call an action board. And so in a vision board, you're not part of it. It's just what you vision. Here in an action board, you are the key player. And without you, forget the universe. Without you, it's not going to happen.
I love that you're talking about accountability and
I talk about that
the blame game. You know, and you know, just working with different people, you come into that, and you know, I have to say that over the past few years, I've found that there is less and less accountability. Have you seen that?
Yeah, well, you
like
know,
more recently, I've seen that.
You know what happens is that people get lazy, and I tell you why. I don't know if you remember those commercials, and we were cleaning out the thing, and they had the ad thing, you know, to do the ad.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You know, remember that? And if you watch those commercials back then, you know what they were saying? You don't have to do sit-ups. You don't have to do this. You don't. And every commercial became, you don't have to do that. Do less, but get more. You know, and that the truth. Or work less, get more.
Right.
So people are always trying to get you to do nothing. You know. So this is a great example. For example, this is a great example. You have everything in here, so you have to do less.
Right.
You know, you don't have to remember numbers. You don't have to remember anything. Just everything is right here. So the mind becomes lazy, and then the body becomes lazy because it's imitating what the mind is telling you. So a
lot of it is and this is something that I know that you coach, and we talked about this, is focus and purpose and responsibility, as you were saying, that really a lot of people don't like to hear it because it's kind of this imposing word, but really it's empowering when you are ready and willing to take that on and say, okay, I'm going to make this happen.
Right.
There's one of the authors of the book, The Secret. The Secret's all about law of attraction and vision boards. And one of the authors, all the authors in that book, I did an investigation. They all donate to charities, which if you believed in law of attraction, you wouldn't. So they all donate to charities or have their own. And like Jack Canfield is in the book.
Okay.
And in the book, he says, don't ask how, don't make a plan, because then you're doubting the universe's ability to do it. And then you'll never get it. Trust in the universe. And if you open Jack Canfield's website, he says, you need to make a plan, pay me lots of money, and I'll show you how. It's the exact opposite.
Exact opposite.
Right. So John Ashraf is another author in The Secret, and he says the same thing in The Secret. And then in his book, he says the law of attraction fails 99.9% of the time. And I can show you how to make it work. And I'm like, you don't have to show me how the law of gravity works. You don't have to show me how Newton's laws or Einstein's laws work. They're laws of nature. They work. What kind of law fails 99.9% of the time? Isn't that like, maybe it's time that we don't call it a law?
Yep.
Well, yeah. I have to ask you something, because I see people always talking about karma, you know, and I said, you know, like, karma, something will happen to you, you know, because you did something bad.
Karma's going to get you, yeah.
But I always wonder, what did I do when somebody does something bad to me? So I go back, I say, I didn't do anything bad. Then what karma was coming back to me?
Right.
So, which is like what you were saying about somebody hitching back, things happen. Yeah. So,
and again, I'm not making this about religion, but my personal belief is that I'll have a goal, I'll work and work and work to do something. And if I can't get it, I don't turn around for self-blame. I know if I put lots of true, authentic effort in and it doesn't happen, I say, okay, something better is going to happen. And this happened. This was for a good reason, and I don't know what it is yet. And it's my job now to find where that other window or door is.
That's right.
Because all this means is this wasn't supposed to happen, because something better is coming along.
That's right.
Love that.
That's right.
Love that.
That is absolutely right. That has happened a lot of times. And every time something happened, there was an example that somebody gave me one time. They said, if you take a ball and you drop it, it only bounces a little bit. But if you slam it down, it bounces higher. So whenever you go down really hard, you know you're gonna bounce back. But it's only if you're not full, if you feel the wrong way, if you have feel the wrong way, then you're just gonna die. The ball just like flat.
Right.
But you gotta feel it the right way. You know, so just like your mind, you have to fill your mind with the right thoughts. And I'm not talking about, you know, just thinking I become. But, you know, I did visualize my wife before I married her.
And what did she do?
She did that. She laughed. I said, I want to marry you. And she laughed.
Neil, I love what you said about, you know, when you want certain things to happen or whatever, and you know, and let's just say it doesn't happen. That's something that I have an issue with, being in the entertainment world, constantly auditioning, constantly sending in these auditions or going into live auditions and really, really wanting certain things. Like there was one a couple months back that I auditioned for it was a commercial or something like that. I was like, and I was praying about it. And then I didn't end up getting it. And sometimes I have an issue with that because I'm like, man, what did I do? Or how come I didn't get it? So that's sort of a process that I have to get better at, is how I feel about things like that.
And I think, and it's a great question, because that's one of the hardest things that we all overcome. My first book, The Blame Game, on the cover blurb was from Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and is the best-selling self-help book ever. And he was one of my mentors. And his first 7 habit is responsibility or accountability. And it's the same thing. So that goes through a lot of different systems. And he sent that book to, I can't remember the number, but it was over 100 agents and got rejected. It would be like, or Thomas Edison, you know, said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I came up with 10,000 ways of not to do this before, and putting it all together. And so by keeping that big picture in mind, that I'll give an example. Say you got that, whatever role that was, and it seemed like a good role. And you're all proud of yourself because you get that role, and it ends up being okay and doesn't lead to too much else, but it paid some money and got you a little bit of notoriety. I'm going to bet that because you didn't get it, there's way more time spent on self-reflection. What can I tweak? What could I have done differently? And it could be just by chance, like you were great and someone was great plus had this other look that they were looking for. So maybe it was nothing that you could do, but that wouldn't be healthy, because then you'd walk away going, I did my best and I don't know what their problem is. And then it becomes about them. But if we, not in a bad way, but we take responsibility and say, okay, what could I possibly change in terms of my interaction, my acting, my vocal tone, my intonation, something, like realistically, like everybody give me some feedback. Then you go and you work on that. And then the next role is boom, wow, I'm so glad I didn't get the other role.
Right.
That every single failure that Stephen Covey had, or that Einstein had, or that Edison had, made that product better. And it'll be the same with you, that eventually you will get that. And, you know, putting together that attitude and everything else, you'll get it, but it'll be so much better when it comes, that it's just like, you'll be thanking God that you didn't get the other one.
Right.
And so that, to me, that's part of it. It's like being in a relationship that didn't work and then being mad at the other person absolutely isn't going to help your next relationship.
Right.
Because if I make it all about me, then I'm going to have more time for self-assessment, self-evaluation, self-reflection, and I'm always going to be able to improve.
Yeah. One of the things that I wrote was, if you make it all about you, then you can blame ending up by yourself. If you continue to make things just about you, then that's when you end up by yourself.
Right.
So let me, I mean, this is so interesting that I could keep going and going with this subject, but we're going to discuss some of these other things. We won't keep you too long because we had to bring you back on. Now, I don't know which one.
There's a lot of dots next to all those words.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of it already, so I'm going to
I'll throw out one of the things that I had always wanted to do, and I kind of mentioned it. One of my goals in going into anesthesia. So I had a PhD also in pharmacology and toxicology, and taught at the medical school. And I always liked the science part of it. And then I stopped doing that, and I was full-time taking care of patients at a children's hospital. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was to help poor people in other countries that couldn't afford surgeries. It completely devastates their life to the point where they die because most of them are put in foster homes or put up for adoption or left on the side of the street. In a lot of these countries, or they wear masks over their face so no one can see them, but they're not allowed to go to school, and they don't really get homeschooled, so they're in a lot of these countries working on the farms and die young. And so they're kids with cleft lip and palate deformities and facial deformities, and so that was something that every year I would volunteer and go to different countries and go with a couple different groups. And that was the most fulfilling and the scariest stuff that I had ever done in my life. Scariest because some of these hospitals were like war zones. In Africa, the electricity would go out all the time. So I was holding flashlights up for the surgeons to operate. And it was so hot because there was no air conditioning in the hospital that we took patients outside and they would recover on the grass because it was cooler outside than it was inside. We even had a tent set up, but the tent got too hot, so we had to move them all outside onto the grass. And there's no electricity, so the anesthesia machines were non-powered, and really harrowing experiences, and malnourished, really sick type kids. So it was both, as I said, the most satisfying, fulfilling thing that I did in my career, and also pretty scary because you're there by yourself with a couple surgeons, and there's no backup if you need help. But that was a phenomenal experience. I started losing my eyesight and my vision, and got double vision. And about 5-ish years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I ended up having to retire from medicine because I had bad double vision out of both eyes, and I've had multiple eye surgeries since then, and so I have passed on a lot of stuff that I did onto my significant other, Lori, and to my daughter, one of my kids. All three of my kids have degrees in psychology or are finishing degrees in psychology, and so they've kind of taken over writing sequels to the books and things like that.
Wonderful. Life
coaching, and because I can't really see well enough to do that. I can't drive anymore. And so it's changed my life a lot. But also, again, looking at positivity, it's changed my life in a lot of good ways. I was working in a very stressful job, which I'm not anymore, and can't do any more medical missions, which was my big raison d'etre, my reason for being, and my passion was the best I ever felt, was going to those countries and helping kids.
Wow. I'm going to show, let me see.
We know that guy.
Samuel. Sifu Samuel Kwok, one of my instructors. So I've trained with lots and lots and lots of different people
Yeah,
martial arts for over 50 years. So.
Yeah, this is just a short list of the people that he studied with. I see you studied with Grandmaster Pellegrini.
Yes, for many years actually, and he's a great friend of mine. I have a 7th Dan with him in Aikido and a 6th in Taekwondo, and he, when they come to visit, they stay at our house and we stay at their house, and he's a dear friend and a great guy.
And then you did the Krav Maga as well?
Yeah, so Krav Maga, so I'm dual citizen, I'm Israeli and Canadian.
Okay.
And I was teaching Taekwondo at a Taekwondo class and was teaching a fight class and thought I was really good. And I was teaching someone who was pretty big, and I said, okay. And we were outside and I said, okay, let's spar. And he went and he tackled me. And I used to do some wrestling in high school, but he tackled me, took me down, and finished me off pretty well. And he was a big guy. And it reminded me back when I was like 15. I had a black belt in a couple things by then. I trained for 6 years, thought I was pretty good. And I went to a school and we were sparring. I went to visit and someone challenged me and I said, okay. Mm-hmm. And I threw a kick and he said, no kicking allowed. This is just punching. And I thought, oh, I'm like a Taekwondo kicker. He said, you still want to fight, don't you? And I said, oh, of course. I can't say no to that. And he pummeled me, and it was boxing, and I had never just straight boxed before. So after that, I took up boxing and realized, okay, I need to do more with my hands. And after this guy tackled me, I thought, I know tackle defense in Taekwondo, but it didn't help me much. So I went looking for more realistic systems, and I found Krav Maga, and kind of going back to my Jewish roots, and studied with a bunch of different people from Moti Horenstein and Mickey Erez and Avi Nardi and a lot of different people in there's 3 main systems in Israel. So I became certified in all 3. And I kind of, and also when I do my medical missions, I would, like when I went to the Philippines to do a medical mission, at night I'd go and study Filipino martial arts. So I'd find instructors. When I went to China, I studied in a Shaolin temple, and I did Tai Chi, and so when I'd go to Japan, I did Aikido, and everywhere I'd went, I'd study those arts. So I went to Thailand and I trained in a Thai box, couple different Thai box camps, and so I keep adding it to what I knew.
Yeah.
And so I now developed my own system that's not really Krav Maga. It's called Kavanah, and it's based on all the Israeli systems, but it also throws in the kitchen sink and whatever I thought this stuff is like. I really like this technique from this, and I study with Samuel Kwok and Wing Chun, and here's a couple things that would work well, and I mark Gridley and pressure points, and I'll take that, and so Kavanah in Hebrew is an acronym for Krav V'Haganah, like Krav Maga. So Krav means fight. So Krav V'Haganah means fight and defend. And in Hebrew, Kavanah is a word that means, it usually refers to when you pray. When you pray with Kavanah, it's like praying with all your heart with intention, not just saying words.
Right.
But praying from your deep-seated, this is so important. And that means that's what Kavanah is.
Wow.
I truly believe in that, because some people, they pray with no intention, or they pray with the same intention as a vision board. It's like let me try this. Let me see if it happens. But I think that you have to do the work.
Yes,
you have to do the work. No, you can't just say, I want this, because if you don't have the intention, because people show up to gymnastic practice all the time. Showing up to practice means absolutely nothing.
You are completely
if your body shows up, but your mind you left at home, it means absolutely nothing. You got to come, mind, body got to be together when you're doing it. And you got to be present, you know?
Yes.
And that's one of the things that people don't do. You know, I've seen people just stop, their body's over here, their mind's over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like I'm making breakfast. What we're going to have for dinner?
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be present so you could really, truly enjoy what you're experiencing right now at this moment.
Yep.
Yes.
Otherwise, you never get Otherwise, you don't get to enjoy everything.
I couldn't agree with you more. I could talk to you about, I'm actually teach mindfulness. I'm a mindfulness instructor and cognitive behavioral mindfulness. And that's just something that I try to, and I'm not great at it yet. I've been trying to do it for about 50 years. And it's one of my biggest passions. And I used to do all kinds of other meditation and all kinds of different forms of meditation. And now my favorite thing to do is mindfulness meditation, because you can do it while you're driving. You can do it when you're doing gymnastics. You can do it at any time. And people don't. And I basically say exactly what you said, that, and use almost the same example of, well, I'm making breakfast, I'm talking about dinner. Or one example that I give that's almost the same is we're at a restaurant and we're eating a meal and it's great. And I say, wow, this is so good. And instead of describing it or focusing on this, I say, this is way better than that place we went to last week. Okay, well, now we're not enjoying this anymore. We're talking about the place there. So even if I say how great it is, and I'm comparing it to something else and saying this is better, as you just said perfectly, I'm removing myself from here and now, and I'm back there.
Right.
Whether it's, so anytime we compare better or worse, before or after, it's taking me away from being present fully now.
Right. That's right. I often talk about that because people go to a psychic and the psychic telling about their past, and then they're telling about what's going to happen in the future. And the thing is, if you want to create your own destiny, write it today and then go for the shopping list tomorrow.
Perfect.
Yeah, because you know, we make shopping lists. Oh, yeah. I wrote on Facebook a while ago, and I was reading your book, by the way. And I wrote this on Facebook, and I said, wow, that's why we got along so well when we're talking about all this stuff when we first met, right? And one of the things that I said was, now it went away.
The shopping list?
Yeah, the shopping list. No, I don't think that was it.
Were you going to do the pasta analogy?
No. Wait. It was sort of the shopping list. Yeah, something like that. I forgot what it was, but I'll come back to it later.
Yeah, there's a lot of commonalities, and because of your background, both in martial arts and gymnastics and motivational, I know even without you looking at the book, you're the kind of person that doesn't need the book because you live that life. That's how you achieve things. Like your world record, it's because you set a goal and you come up with what I call them dominoes. Right. So when people set goals, they either believe in the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or they set up dominoes. And the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is the story that we're told. There's a pot, and I don't know how to get there, but I know it's over there somewhere. I don't know the path that I'm going to take. I don't even know what's in the pot. There's some amount of gold. Yeah. And I probably won't ever find the end of that rainbow to get it. When I said, and if I don't get that pot of gold, I failed. Because my goal was to get that pot of gold. Instead, I chunk out a goal and break it into little mini goals. And so the final goal doesn't become a big goal. It becomes just another goal. And they're all the same size dominoes. And then I make my path. And every time I kick over a domino, I say I dominated. And I achieve something. And I can do that for 5 to 10. Everything on my to-do list is about first things first, putting my boulders there. What do I need to accomplish that's going to make me feel like I'm moving toward my life goal and my mission, personal mission statement? And then those all become, every one of those as I knock them down, I celebrate it, and and I've got a really good perception of how I'm moving toward my final goal.
Right.
And halfway along, if I've learned something about myself or about the situation, and my goal changes, I've still accomplished all of these 400 other things that I've dominated, and they've taught me something else, and now I change my direction. I haven't failed anything. I've succeeded in knocking down 400, and I've changed my goal, but I haven't failed. I've just changed. And so it's a real empowerment way of looking at it, as opposed to I'm setting my goal, I get it or I don't. Black or white? No.
Right.
I absolutely love this. I'm enjoying, just taking all of this in, because I am someone that has a tendency to second guess myself and like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not able to do that. So I just recently started applying to different gigs online, and I had been seeing these and seeing the listing or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. And then the other day I said, I'm going to do it. So I went in, and they have this little template. You fill out the application online. And
what was this for?
Newscaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she played that before.
So, but this isn't okay. So, there's a template you fill out online, and they ask you, what are your specialties, what your education and things like that. And I started filling it in, as much as I could remember, things that I've done. And I said to myself, wow, I've really done a lot of stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I was telling myself that no, I wasn't qualified to do that. And then now that you're saying all these things, I set up the dominoes, and just completed, it was maybe like 3 or 4, but I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to apply. And I did that. And I feel accomplished, even just completing the application.
She played this on a movie, and she played it on a commercial, but now it's the real stuff.
It's the real deal.
So it was practicing.
Oh, so that was right. So those are your real life rehearsals. The other thing that I love, that concept that I love, is when you start doing that and you take both the combination of setting up the dominoes, those things, like you say, oh, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be whatever it is. Then I look and see, okay, what are the steps in setting up the dominoes? And some of those steps are going to be like, okay, I need to take this exam. And that becomes, I have to take this exam. I've got to take this exam. And if you set it up as dominoes, then it's a goal, which means I want to. So you change all my have tos and got tos into want tos and get tos.
Yep.
That I get to take this exam. A lot of people don't. And this is one of the steps that I'm going to try and dominate, to kick this domino over to get to this. And I want to do that, because if I didn't want this step down the road, 10 dominoes down, I wouldn't want this. And so I don't have to. So as soon as I say, like I used to teach the medical residents, and I'd hear someone say, hey, are you going to the party this weekend? And they'd say, no, I have to take call tonight. I have to be on call at the hospital. And I'd say, no, you don't. You say, yeah, I do. I'm on the schedule. But, well, Jack last week, he called in sick. He didn't have to. You don't have to. You might lose your job. You may or may not. Or you could change your mind. You can drop out of the program tomorrow. You don't have to do any of this. I'm assuming you're here because you want to be here.
Right.
Because you want to be a good doctor, and you're never going to be a good doctor if you don't take call at night and see what happens at night when you're more, independent. And so if you got your wish and you never took call, you'd be really dangerous, and you'd hurt somebody when you graduate. So change that have to, because you don't have to. This is completely your choice. You're here because you want to be. And as soon as you change how you say it, because you're changing how you think about it, you're going to take it now as a learning experience, not as someone's making me and I hate doing this and I don't like my job and why am I here at night? And
right.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm going to be using that in gymnastics this week, especially the
that's actually, so Pedro, that's similar to what you were saying about them showing up.
You want to. I remember what it was that I read on your book, and it's just like what I say, and it's that you have to upgrade everything. You know, you upgrade your computer, you upgrade your phone, you upgrade everything, but most people don't upgrade their mind. You know, but they're busy upgrading everything. And they want everybody to be tall and to be easier. That's why they get a GPS, because they don't want to think. Let it do it for me.
Guilty.
But you know what? I got my wife. I don't need no GPS.
I tell people every so often, go and take a road, go a different way home.
Yes.
And if you want to be mindful and you want to practice, that's where we become mindless and put the car in autopilot. And you look around and we're like, oh man, I'm home. I was supposed to go to the store. How did I get home? Because our mind goes out here and we go on autopilot. So purposefully go out of your comfort zone, take a different way home. And I guarantee you're looking around, looking at stores, looking at people, looking at the curb, looking at the signs. Everything is new. And now you're alive again, looking, and you're really present here.
You know, I agree. Layla, who's the youngest, she goes to college, which is like about 20 minutes from our house. And she was telling me one day, she was like, oh, Sissy takes me this way, or the oldest in the house, Angelica. And I'm like, this? I'm like, why? And she was like, I don't know. And so I'm like, And then I thought about, like, okay, one day I'm going to take that route. One day I'm going to take that route. One day I'm going to take that route. And then I finally did it. One day I did it on the way home. And then like a couple days later, I did it on the way to the school. And I'm like, oh, okay. Interesting. So yeah, but when I go the other way, the normal way we usually go, my brain is not thinking, it's on autopilot, like you said. But now I'm like, oh, I got to watch this. What's this over here? Oh, I didn't notice this apple orchard. So yeah. I'm really feeling this interview today. Yeah.
Love it. You know, this is live on Facebook and YouTube. And so StreamYard. People that are watching this on StreamYard, make sure that you subscribe down there. This is the most interesting conversation that cannot take an hour. It would take longer than that. So we'll have to have you come back at another time.
I want to show you something really quickly. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but when I was just in Scotland. I've got a daughter who lives in Scotland, and my kids are kind of spread out all over the world, and so I was just visiting her this a couple weeks ago, and can you see this?
Hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
Do it again.
Up right there. Yep. I love it.
There it is. I took a picture of this for you. Now,
that's some heavy duty.
Oh, I could see it.
That's heavy duty right there.
Wow.
Well, you have a lot of relatives in Scotland.
Really?
Everybody wears tweed there.
Wow. You know, I Googled myself one time, and I'm convinced that Google is a woman because, you know, my mother used to tell me she knew everything. My wife knows everything. I teach gymnastics for girls and they know everything.
Yeah,
so,
right.
You know, I'm convinced that Google is a woman. So, I looked up one time. I was looking for my book and where it's being sold. And I put my name in. And I found out that I'm selling some kind of jewelry and pocketbooks in China or something. And he said, Pedro Tweed. I said, what?
Wow.
I couldn't be, I don't know why I'm not getting any kickback from that.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But I got to check those people out.
Yeah, time for royalties.
Yes, yes. I think I sent them a letter. I said, you using my name? I got to get some of that money.
Oh my gosh.
So it looks like you're frozen now. Oh, there you go.
No, he's not. You're moving.
It's too warm here to be frozen.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Sorry. Hey, one of the things that I'd love to, I can only talk a little bit about, but in the future, one of my side jobs was there's a huge music festival in Milwaukee called Summerfest. It's the biggest one in the country. Right. And there's about 400 to 700 bands every year over a 10-day period. And I was the backstage doctor for about 20 years. And so when I said I had dinner with Halle Berry, I've also had dinner with Crosby, Stills and Nash, or James Taylor, or Elton John, or Billy Joel, or lots and lots and lots and lots of people, from Katy Perry to pretty much most bands that you can think of.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
I'm glad that you have
cool side jobs. Huh? It was one of my cool side jobs. I went to London with Smashing Pumpkins, and I went to Dublin with The Cure and Courtney Love, and so I've done a lot of cool, fun things.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
You had dinner with some of the most interesting people. You had dinner with me one time.
That was, you know, of all the people, that's one of the best highlights. And that picture that you showed, I still remember that restaurant and where we were across the road from the convention center.
That's right. That's right. I was driving you and Cynthia and Sergio around.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was so fun. And people, you know, I think I lost something that day, and then the people were going like this.
Yes, your phone.
It was the charger.
The charger. And we walked around looking for the charger.
And security was going like this. And I remember telling Cynthia, do you think they really got something there? Because I don't see anything. But yeah, it was really funny. It was fun. We missed you that day, huh?
Yeah.
And then we had dinner and talked a lot at the International Sports Hall of Fame.
Right. I missed it this year, but, you know, probably next year.
Yes, I did too. I heard you weren't going, so I decided to miss it too.
Yeah, so if I don't go, it's usually because we have some gymnastic function or something like that I can't get out. But I love going to those things. And I mean, I met you and I met a lot of people. A lot of the people that we have on the show, we met through Dr. Bob. He was on last week.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And that's where we talked a lot about your books as well, and philosophy, and realized, wow, we got something mind meld going.
Yeah, that was awesome. And when I read your book, then I definitely know why we got along so well when we first met, and still get along so well.
Yes.
Well, listen, I have to say that this is probably the longest interview that we didn't get bored.
Amazing.
All of our interviews have been good because we just like you to come in and, you know, express yourself.
Yeah.
And we just want to be listener and
sponges, just absorb it.
Yeah, I love you guys, and always look forward to seeing you and all the stuff you're doing, and how this started off as such a intermittent little thing, and now you guys are famous.
Well, you know, we heard talks with some people, so it's gonna be great. The domino.
And actually, I used to have these shirts when I had my company before I retired that said, and it had a figure of a guy kicking over a domino, and it said something like "dominate."
Nice.
Dominate. Yes.
Nice.
Dominate your goals.
That's it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Neil, we thank you so much for joining us tonight on Tweed Talks. It was such a pleasure. and I'm going to get your book. And then when I see you,
No,
I would love for you. I want a real book.
Oh no,
I want him to sign it. I want him to sign it.
Yeah, that's coming too.
Yeah.
But I got the Kindle right away.
So I definitely want to have you sign it when I see you. It was such a pleasure talking to you tonight.
You too,
These are the book. Just a reminder. This is the book.
Neil, where can we get the book?
They're all on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, somebody, I don't even remember who, but somebody wrote a podcast, a blog, just a couple weeks ago, and some publisher sent it to me saying that my book made the list of, it was like 4 must-read self-help books or something.
Oh, okay.
So it was a very short list, but my book was one of them. So
awesome.
Cool. Very cool. I will go on Amazon and post the link once we post this interview. So it's one click and then people can just go in and purchase the book. Make it nice and easy
both
for
of them.
Much appreciated.
Well, we thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neil, for joining us.
Love you. Have fun.
Hope to see
Thank you.
We're just going to go and make sure that the bear doesn't come and take our food again.
Oh, gosh. Have a good night, Neil.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye, guys.
All right.
That was
another
wonderful.
great one.
That touched my heart. Like everything, it touched right here.
We got some great friends. Well, people, I didn't eat yet. What is this?
You've been working out, sir?
No,
I think you still have that thing on. Remember?
Oh, probably, yes. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we're going to say good night.
Yes.
And we're going to see you next week again with more interesting guests. And with that, we're going to say love, peace, and harmony.
Harmony.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.